Every single day when you wake up, before the noise of the world gets inside your head, you need to speak life into yourself. You need to remind yourself of who you are, of the power you carry, of the fact that you are not here to simply exist. You are here to live with purpose, strength, and confidence. Words are powerful. What you tell yourself becomes your truth. If you tell yourself that you are weak, you will shrink. If you tell yourself you are powerful, you will rise. So today, I want to give you 9 powerful things you must tell yourself every single day, because your mind listens, your soul listens, and your life will start to reflect it. The first thing, tell yourself that you are enough. No matter how many times the world tries to convince you that you need to change, to be slimmer, to be louder, to be different, remind yourself that you are already complete. You don't need to chase external validation. You don't need to prove your worth. When you look into the mirror, your reflection is not lacking, it's whole. Speak it to yourself. I am enough. Because when you embody this truth, no one can manipulate you into believing otherwise. The second, tell yourself that you are strong. Strength is not about pretending you don't feel pain. It's about knowing that no matter what pain you go through, you will not break. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Situations will push you to your limits, but you are resilient. You have survived storms that others would have drowned in. You are stronger than you give yourself credit for. Every day, remind yourself of this and watch how your energy shifts when challenges come. The third, tell yourself that you are in control of your own happiness. Too often, people hand over their joy to others, waiting for someone to love them, waiting for recognition, waiting for life to feel perfect. Stop waiting. Remind yourself that your happiness is yours. You get to choose it every morning. You get to create it through gratitude, through self-respect, through boundaries. Say it. I am responsible for my own happiness, and that will free you from the chains of expectation.
The fourth, tell yourself that you will not compare your journey to anyone else's. You need to understand this. Comparison is a thief. It steals your peace, your confidence, your clarity. You are not supposed to live their life. You are supposed to live yours. Their timing is not your timing, and that's okay. Every day, remind yourself that your path is unfolding exactly as it should, and you are exactly where you need to be. Trust yourself. Trust your growth.
The fifth, tell yourself that your energy is sacred. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone deserves your time, your love, your loyalty. Protect your energy like it's gold, because it is. Every day, remind yourself, I will not allow anyone to drain me, manipulate me, or distract me from my purpose. You are the guardian of your own peace, and you must defend it. The sixth, tell yourself that failure is not the end. Failure is simply feedback. It's redirection, not rejection. Too many people quit after their first setback because they take failure personally. But the truth is, failure is a sign you're trying, that you're moving, that you're learning. Tell yourself, I don't fail, I grow. And if you repeat that to yourself every day, you'll never be afraid to take risks again.
The seventh, tell yourself that you are worthy of love and respect, not because of what you do, not because of what you give, but because of who you are. Too often, people settle for scraps because they forget their value. They accept toxic behavior because they don't believe they deserve better, but you do. Every day, remind yourself, I am worthy of love. I am worthy of respect, and I will never settle for less than I deserve.
The eighth, tell yourself that you will not waste your life living in the past. Whatever happened, happened. You can't change it. You can't rewrite it, but you can release it. Every single day, remind yourself that you are not defined by your mistakes, your heartbreaks, or your losses. The past is gone, and today is all you have. Tell yourself, I live in the present, and I am moving forward. And finally, the ninth, tell yourself that you are unstoppable. Not because life will be easy, not because you won't face obstacles, but because nothing can stand in the way of a determined heart. If you wake up every morning and speak this truth to yourself, you will stop underestimating what you are capable of. You will stop doubting. You will start living with fire, with focus, with certainty. Tell yourself, I am unstoppable, and watch the world adjust to your energy. When you wake up every single morning, there is one thing you need to remind yourself before you do anything else. You are enough. I want you to really let that sink in, because for so long you have been convinced that you are not. The world has tried to tell you that you need to do more, to be more, to change who you are in order to finally feel worthy. You've been conditioned to believe that your worth lies in your achievements, your appearance, in how much you give to others, and how many people approve of you. But listen to me, none of that is the truth. The truth is that even without the job title, even without the perfect body, even without the applause or recognition, you are already enough as you are. You have been taught to chase a never-ending list of conditions to finally feel good about yourself. You've told yourself, I'll feel confident when I lose weight. I'll feel worthy when I make more money. I'll feel loved when someone chooses me. But every time you reach one of those milestones, you don't feel the way you thought you would, do you? That's because the problem was never that you weren't enough. It's that you didn't believe you were enough to begin with. Your value is not something you earn. It's something you already have. Imagine a diamond lying in the dirt. Just because it's covered in mud, does that make it any less of a diamond? No. Its worth doesn't diminish because of its surroundings. That's you. You may have been through pain, disappointment, rejection, and heartbreak. You may feel like life has buried you under shame or failure, but none of that changes your worth. You are still valuable. You are still enough. And the moment you stop waiting for the world to validate you, the moment you decide to validate yourself, everything changes. There will always be people who will try to make you feel like you are not enough, because insecure people project their insecurities onto others. They want you to doubt yourself because they doubt themselves. But the truth is, the way they see you is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. You have to stop giving away your power by allowing other people's opinions to define you. When someone says you're not good enough, what they're really saying is you don't fit into the limited version of reality I've created. And that has nothing to do with you. Every day, look in the mirror and remind yourself that you are enough. Not because of what you've accomplished, not because of what you look like, not because someone else thinks you are worthy. You are enough simply because you exist. You are here. And your existence alone is proof that you matter. Stop shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never built to hold your greatness. Stop apologizing for being who you are. Stop doubting your own reflection. When you truly believe you are enough, you start moving differently. You no longer beg for love. You attract it. You no longer chase opportunities. You create them. You no longer tolerate disrespect. You walk away from it. Your entire energy shifts. People start to notice the quiet confidence you carry, the way you don't need anyone's validation to feel secure. And that energy is magnetic. It pulls the right people, the right opportunities, and the right circumstances into your life. The problem is, so many of you have been operating from the mindset of lack. You think, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I'm not successful enough. And because of that belief, you sabotage yourself. You settle for relationships where you are undervalued, jobs where you are underpaid, situations that drain you, because deep down you don't think you deserve better. But once you understand that you are enough, you stop settling, you raise your standard. You realize that anything that requires you to beg, to chase, or to diminish yourself is not meant for you. Think about how much time you've wasted waiting for approval. You've held back your voice because you were afraid someone wouldn't like it. You've hidden your talents because you were afraid someone might criticize them. You've played small because you thought, who am I to take up space? But the real question is, who are you not to? You were not placed on this earth to live as a shadow of yourself. You were placed here to shine, to grow, to expand into the fullest version of who you are. And that version of you is already enough. You don't need to become someone else to be worthy of love, happiness, and respect. You don't need to constantly fix yourself as if you're broken. Yes, growth is important. Yes, improving yourself is powerful. But don't confuse growth with trying to earn your worth. You can grow because you love yourself, not because you hate yourself. You can evolve while still knowing that even right now in this very moment, without changing a single thing, you are enough. Every single day, choose to silence the voice in your head that says you're not good enough. Replace it with a stronger voice that says, I am already everything I need to be. And the more you affirm that truth, the more your mind will start to believe it. Your reality is a reflection of what you believe about yourself. So if you want to change your reality, you must first change what you believe. The world is already full of people who are blind to their worth. Don't join them. Stand apart. Stand in your power. Walk into every room with the knowledge that you are enough, and watch how the universe responds to that energy. Because once you believe it, the world has no choice but to believe it too. Strength is not about pretending you never hurt. It's not about putting on a mask of perfection and acting like nothing ever shakes you. Real strength is knowing that no matter what happens to you, you will not break. Life is going to test you. It will throw disappointments, heartbreaks, betrayals, and failures in your path. You will cry, you will feel pain. You will fall to your knees at times. But strength is the decision to rise every single time, even when it hurts, even when you don't feel like you can. That is what it means to be strong. Every day you need to remind yourself, I am strong. Because the truth is, you've survived moments you once thought would destroy you. Think back to the nights you cried yourself to sleep, the days you thought you would never move forward, the times you felt like the world was too heavy for you to carry. And yet here you are, breathing, standing, living. Do you see how strong you already are? You have been through storms that others would have drowned in, and you came out of them with lessons, with scars that prove your resilience.
Strength is not about denying your emotions. It's about owning them and still choosing to keep going. Weakness is running away from your pain. Strength is sitting with it, facing it, and refusing to let it control you. The strongest people are not the ones who appear unshaken. They are the ones who fall apart in private, but refuse to stay broken. They let the pain mold them, not define them. And that is you. You are strong because you felt pain and you didn't let it consume you.
There will always be people who underestimate you, who think you're fragile, who assume you can't handle what's ahead. Let them think that. Let them underestimate you, because strength is not about proving anything to them. It's about proving everything to yourself. It's about looking at yourself in the mirror and saying, no matter what comes my way, I will not give up on myself. Think of all the times you thought you couldn't make it. Maybe it was a heartbreak that shattered your world. Maybe it was a dream that collapsed before your eyes. Maybe it was a betrayal that cut you deeper than you imagined. And yet, even when you felt powerless, you kept going. That is strength, and you don't give yourself enough credit for it. You think strength looks like perfection, like never struggling, but in reality, strength looks like messy survival. It looks like choosing to live when giving up felt easier. The world is harsh, and there will be moments when you want to run, hide, and escape from it all. But strength is reminding yourself that you are bigger than your circumstances. You are stronger than the people who hurt you, stronger than the challenges in front of you, stronger than the doubts in your mind. And every time you repeat this to yourself, I am strong, you reinforce the truth that you already know deep down. Nothing can break you unless you allow it to. Being strong doesn't mean you never rest. It doesn't mean you have to constantly fight and exhaust yourself. True strength is also knowing when to step back, when to recharge, when to walk away from what drains you. Sometimes strength is quiet. Sometimes strength is choosing peace over chaos, silence over noise, self-respect over approval. Sometimes being strong is saying no when you've spent your whole life saying yes. Don't confuse vulnerability with weakness. Allowing yourself to feel, to cry, to lean on others when you need to, that is not weakness, that is strength, because it takes courage to admit you're human. But strength is also choosing not to stay down forever. You can cry, but you rise again. You can feel broken, but you don't stay shattered. That is the essence of being strong. You have to understand that life will always test you. Every new level of your life will come with new challenges, new obstacles, new people who will try to break you down. But the more you remind yourself of your strength, the more you build resilience. Every hardship you face is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to show you what you are capable of. Strength is built in the fire. Diamonds are created under pressure. You are no different. The next time life knocks you down, instead of asking, why me? I want you to ask, what is this teaching me? Because strong people don't waste time feeling like victims. They use pain as fuel. They use struggles as stepping stones. Every setback becomes a setup for growth. And that is exactly how you need to see your life. Nothing has the power to break you. Everything has the power to shape you. When you carry yourself with the energy of strength, people start treating you differently. They sense your resilience. They realize you're not someone who can be easily shaken, manipulated, or broken down. And that kind of strength is magnetic. It demands respect. It attracts the right opportunities. It creates boundaries without you having to say a word because your energy speaks for itself. Every day when you wake up, remind yourself, I am strong. Remind yourself that you've already survived things you thought you couldn't. Remind yourself that no matter what today brings, you will not crumble. You may bend, but you will not break. You may fall, but you will rise. You may get wounded, but you will heal. Because strength is not about never falling. It's about always rising. So walk into the world with that truth. Walk into every challenge, every hardship, every test with the energy of someone who knows that nothing can stop them. Because when you believe you are strong, you become unstoppable. And that is who you were always meant to be. Your happiness is yours. Let me say that again because I want it to echo inside you. Your happiness belongs to you, not to anyone else. Too many of you have been conditioned to believe that your joy is dependent on external factors, the way people treat you, the success you achieve, the relationships you hold, the approval you gain. And because of that belief, you've spent your life waiting for someone to love you, waiting for recognition, waiting for life to finally hand you happiness as if it's a reward you have to earn. But here is the truth. Happiness is not something you wait for. It is something you create. It is something you choose. It is something you claim every single day. When you hand your happiness over to other people, you give away your power. Think about it. If your joy depends on how someone else sees you, on whether they call you back, on whether they validate you, then you are no longer in control. You're a puppet, and the strings are in their hands. They can pull them however they like, and your emotions will dance accordingly. Is that the kind of life you want to live? Is that the kind of power you want to surrender? No. You need to take it back. You need to look at yourself in the mirror every morning and say, my happiness is my responsibility, and no one else's. Happiness is not found in the perfect relationship, the perfect career, or the perfect body. Because even when you get those things, if you have not built happiness within yourself first, you will still feel empty. You'll still be chasing. You'll still be waiting for the next thing, thinking maybe then I'll feel fulfilled. But happiness does not work like that. It is not a destination you arrive at. It is a state of being you cultivate. You cultivate it by gratitude. Look around you. How much of your life have you ignored because you were too focused on what you didn't have? The sun that rises every morning, the breath in your lungs, the people who truly care for you, the small moments of laughter, the peace you find in silence, all of it is a reason to be happy right now. Yet you overlook it, searching for something bigger, something louder, something external. But happiness thrives in the present, not in some imagined future. You cultivate it by self-respect. Think about how often you've sacrificed your peace just to please others. How many times have you said yes when every bone in your body screamed no? How many times have you betrayed yourself just to avoid disappointing someone else? That is why you feel so empty, because every act of self-betrayal chips away at your happiness. True joy begins when you respect yourself enough to honor your boundaries, to walk away from what drains you, to stop giving pieces of yourself to people who do not deserve them. You cultivate it by choosing it. Happiness is not always easy. Sometimes your circumstances will tempt you to drown in negativity, to focus on what's wrong, to give in to the weight of it all. But in those moments, you must choose happiness anyway. You must tell yourself, I may not control everything that happens to me, but I do control how I respond to it. That is where your power lies, not in controlling life, but in controlling yourself. Understand this. People will disappoint you. They will lie. They will leave. They will fail to treat you the way you deserve. If your happiness is tied to them, then you will always be unstable, always riding the waves of their inconsistency. But when your happiness is rooted in yourself, no one can take it away from you. People may come and go, circumstances may rise and fall, but your inner state remains strong. That is freedom. That is peace. Stop chasing the illusion that someone else will complete you. Stop waiting for life to magically align before you allow yourself to smile. Happiness is not out there. It's in you. It's in the way you talk to yourself, in the way you show up for yourself, and the way you choose to see the world. And once you build it inside of you, everything around you changes. You start attracting better energy, better people, better opportunities, because happiness radiates. It is magnetic. People will be drawn to your light, not because you begged for their approval, but because you created something within yourself that no one can dim. This is why I tell you every single day to remind yourself, I am responsible for my own happiness. Not my partner, not my friends, not my family, not my job, me. And when you live by that truth, you stop being a victim of life. You stop waiting for circumstances to shift in your favor. You stop begging others to fill the emptiness inside you. Instead, you rise. You take control. You create a life where happiness is not dependent on anything outside of you. Do not confuse this with ignoring your struggles. Choosing happiness doesn't mean you pretend that everything is perfect. It doesn't mean you never feel sadness or anger. It means you don't let those emotions define your life. It means you allow yourself to feel them, but you still come back to your power. You still remind yourself that no matter what is happening outside of you, inside, you can choose peace. Happiness is not a luxury. It's not something you earn after you've checked off all the boxes of society's expectations. It is your right and it is your responsibility, but no one else can give it to you. If you keep searching for it outside of yourself, you will always be chasing shadows. The only way to truly experience it is to build it within. So every morning as you step into the day, tell yourself this: I will not hand over my happiness to anyone else. I will not let my joy depend on things outside of my control. My happiness is mine, and I choose it today. When you live with that truth, nothing, no betrayal, no failure, no disappointment can rob you of your peace, because happiness is not out there waiting for you to find it. Happiness has been inside you all along. Comparison will poison your soul if you let it. It will creep into your mind like a thief in the night and steal the peace you've worked so hard to build. And the saddest part, most of the time you don't even realize it's happening. You open your phone and suddenly you're flooded with images of people who look happier, more successful, more loved, more beautiful than you. Without even thinking, you start measuring your life against theirs. And just like that, you've diminished your own worth. You convince yourself that because someone else has something you don't, you are behind. But you need to understand this comparison is a trap and it will never serve you. Every single day, remind yourself, I will not compare my journey to anyone else's, because your journey is yours alone. Your timing is not their timing. Your lessons are not their lessons. Your story is not their story. And that is the beauty of it. Imagine how boring this world would be if everyone was on the same path, hitting milestones at the exact same time. That's not how life works. You are not meant to copy anyone else. You are meant to live the life that was designed for you. When you compare yourself to others, you are ignoring your own progress. You're so focused on what you lack that you fail to see how far you've come. Think about where you were a year ago, 5 years ago. Think about the obstacles you've overcome, the growth you've experienced, the battles you fought silently that no one else even knows about. And yet, instead of honoring your own journey, you belittle it because you're looking at someone else's highlight reel. Do you see how unfair that is to yourself? Comparison blinds you. It makes you forget your own blessings. It makes you resent your own path. But the truth is, you don't know what that other person had to go through to get where they are. You don't know their struggles, their sacrifices, the nights they cried, the weight they carry behind that smile. And yet you hold yourself against an illusion of perfection and convince yourself that you're failing. Stop. You are not failing. You are growing at your own pace. You are moving exactly as you're supposed to. The universe doesn't make mistakes. Everything you are experiencing, everything you are learning, everything you are going through, it is shaping you for the life that is meant to be yours. But you'll never see that if you keep your eyes fixed on someone else's lane. You need to shift your focus back to yourself. Instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Start asking, what do I have right now that I can be grateful for? What can I do today to move closer to the life I want? That is where your power lies. Not in measuring yourself against others, but in aligning yourself with your own vision. Comparison is rooted in scarcity. It makes you believe that because someone else has something, there's less left for you. But that's not true. Life is abundant. There is room for everyone to win. Someone else's success does not diminish yours. Someone else's beauty does not make you less beautiful. Someone else's relationship does not make you unworthy of love. You are not in competition with anyone else. You are only in competition with the person you were yesterday. Think about it like this: a flower doesn't compete with the one blooming next to it. It doesn't look over and think she's taller, she's brighter, she's more noticed. No, it simply blooms fully, unapologetically, in its own timing, in its own way, and the world admires it for exactly what it is. That's how you need to see yourself. Stop comparing your petals to someone else's. Your bloom will come when it's meant to. Every time you catch yourself comparing, pause, remind yourself their journey is theirs, mine is mine. Say it until it becomes your truth. Because when you stop comparing, you free yourself. You start to feel lighter. You start to see your life clearly without the distortion of jealousy and insecurity. You begin to appreciate your blessings, and in that gratitude, you create space for more blessings to flow in. Do not let comparison rob you of your joy. Do not let it convince you that you are behind. You are not behind. You are right on time. Every step you're taking, every struggle you're facing, every moment of growth, it's all part of the story that is uniquely yours. And one day you'll look back and realize that everything unfolded exactly the way it needed to. So wake up every day and tell yourself, I refuse to measure my worth against anyone else. I am exactly where I need to be. I trust my timing. I trust my journey, because the moment you stop looking sideways and start looking forward, that's when life starts moving. That's when you reclaim your power. And the truth is, no one else can live your life. No one else can walk your path. No one else can fulfill your destiny. So why waste even a second comparing yourself to them? Focus on you. Focus on your growth, your peace, your happiness. That is where your magic lies. That is how you win. Your energy is sacred. Too often you forget this. You let anyone and everyone have access to you, to your time, to your space, to your peace. And then you wonder why you feel drained, why you feel heavy, why you feel disconnected from yourself. It's because you've been treating your energy like it's disposable, when in reality, it's the most valuable thing you have. Every day you need to remind yourself, not everyone deserves access to me. Not everyone deserves to sit at my table. Not everyone deserves my love, my time, my loyalty. My energy is sacred and I must protect it. Think about it. When you allow the wrong people into your life, they don't just take your time. They take pieces of your spirit. They take your confidence, your clarity, your joy. They drain you because they see you as a source, as someone they can feed off of. And if you're not careful, you give so much of yourself that there's nothing left for you. But here's the truth. You don't owe everyone your energy. You don't owe everyone your presence. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is necessary. Start asking yourself, who do I allow into my space? Who do I give my time to? Who do I allow to speak into my life? Because whether you realize it or not, energy is contagious. If you surround yourself with people who complain all the time, who gossip, who think small, who live in negativity, you will absorb that. And before you know it, you'll find yourself feeling the same way. But when you surround yourself with people who inspire you, who uplift you, who support you, who push you to grow, your energy rises, your spirit feels alive. That's why boundaries matter. Boundaries are not walls. They are gates. They don't shut everyone out. They just filter who gets in. Boundaries say, I will no longer allow myself to be drained. I will no longer allow people to treat me like I am disposable. I will no longer give my best to people who give me their worst. And when you start living by this, you will notice how much lighter you feel. You will notice how much more peace you have. Stop feeling guilty for protecting yourself. Stop feeling guilty for walking away from people who no longer serve your growth. You are not obligated to carry everyone. You are not obligated to fix everyone. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire just to keep others warm. If someone truly values you, they will respect your boundaries. If they get angry when you protect your energy, that is proof they were only benefiting from draining you in the first place. Your energy is like currency. Every interaction is either an investment or a loss. So ask yourself, am I investing in this or am I being drained? And if it's the latter, you need to step back. You need to choose yourself because no one else will do it for you. There will be people who will try to guilt trip you into giving them your energy. They will say things like, you've changed or you don't care anymore. But you need to understand, change is growth. Protecting your peace doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care about yourself enough to stop allowing chaos into your life. You have to stop entertaining situations that rob you of your power. Think about how much your life would shift if you became intentional about your energy, if you stopped answering calls that drain you, if you stopped engaging in arguments that go nowhere, if you stopped chasing people who don't value you. Imagine how much more clarity, how much more strength, how much more peace you would have. That is the life you deserve. A life where your energy is not scattered everywhere, but preserved for what truly matters. Protecting your energy also means protecting your mind. What are you consuming daily? The shows you watch, the music you listen to, the social media you scroll. It all feeds your spirit. If all you consume is negativity, drama, and comparison, don't be surprised when you feel restless and dissatisfied. Feed your mind with things that uplift you. Feed your soul with things that bring peace. Your energy thrives on what you give it. And don't forget, protecting your energy also means protecting it from yourself. Sometimes you are your own biggest enemy. You drain yourself with overthinking, with self-doubt, with replaying situations that are already gone. You deplete your own spirit by carrying guilt, by reliving pain, by holding on to resentment. You need to remind yourself, I deserve peace. I deserve to let go. I deserve to release what no longer serves me. You are not here to be available to everyone. You are not here to be consumed by the world. You are here to live in alignment, to protect your light, to give your energy only to what nourishes you and to those who honor you. Your energy is sacred. And when you finally start treating it as sacred, your entire life transforms. So every morning, remind yourself, I will protect my energy today. I will not allow negativity to invade my spirit. I will not allow anyone to drain me. I will choose peace over chaos, alignment over distraction, growth over stagnation, because once you take control of your energy, nothing can control you. And the truth is, not everyone deserves access to you. Let that be your reminder. The world doesn't need a version of you that is exhausted, drained, and disconnected. The world needs the version of you that is whole, powerful, and radiant. And the only way to become that version is by protecting the most sacred thing you have, your energy. Failure is not the end. Too many of you treat failure like a death sentence, as if one mistake, one setback, one rejection defines the rest of your life. You stumble once and suddenly you convince yourself you're not capable, you're not good enough, you're not worthy of trying again. But I need you to understand this deeply. Failure is not rejection. Failure is redirection. It's the universe showing you another way, a better way, a way you couldn't see before. Every single person you admire has failed. Every success story you look up to is built on a mountain of failures. The difference is that they didn't stop when it got hard. They didn't give up after the first rejection, the first closed door, the first no. They used failure as feedback. They looked at it and asked, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? That's the mindset you need to adopt. When you fail, it does not mean you are unworthy. It means you are human. It means you had the courage to try. It means you put yourself out there. You took a risk. You believed in something enough to move toward it. Do you know how many people never even try? They sit on the sidelines, criticizing, judging, mocking, but they never risk failure because they are too afraid. And yet, here you are, brave enough to step into the arena. That alone makes you stronger than you think. You need to reframe failure. Instead of saying, I failed, start saying, I grew. Because with every mistake, with every setback, you learn something new about yourself. You learn what doesn't work. You learn what needs adjustment. You learn how resilient you truly are. Failure is not a sign that you should stop. It's a sign that you're moving, that you're progressing, that you're alive. The most dangerous thing you can do is let failure stop you, because then you trap yourself in a cycle of fear. You stop trying, you stop risking, you stop dreaming, and soon you're living a life that is safe but empty. You'll convince yourself you're content, but deep down you'll feel that constant ache, that ache of wasted potential. Don't let fear of failure rob you of the life you could have lived. Every time you fall, rise again. Every time you hear no, try again. Every time you get rejected, remind yourself that it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. Because sometimes what you think you want isn't even what's best for you. Sometimes failure is protection. Sometimes failure is the universe saving you from something that was never aligned with your purpose. Trust it. Trust that if something doesn't work out, it's not the end, it's a step. You need to stop attaching your identity to outcomes. Just because something didn't work doesn't mean you are a failure. It just means that method, that path, that attempt wasn't the right one. Separate who you are from what happened. You are not your failures. You are not your mistakes. You are not the doors that closed on you. You are bigger than all of that. The truth is, failure builds strength. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you patience. It humbles you, and it forces you to grow in ways success never could. Success can feed your ego, but failure feeds your soul. It strips you down. It challenges you. It forces you to dig deep and find parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. And when you rise from that, you become unstoppable. Think of it this way. Every time you fail, you're one step closer to success. Every setback is just part of the process. No one gets it right on the first try. No one builds greatness without struggle. So instead of fearing failure, start embracing it. Start seeing it as a teacher, as a guide, as an ally. When you fail, say thank you. Thank you for showing me where I can improve. Thank you for pushing me to grow. Thank you for reminding me that I am brave enough to try again. Stop letting shame attach itself to failure. Failure does not mean you're less than. Failure means you're brave. Failure means you have courage. Failure means you are alive. Stop seeing it as something to hide and start seeing it as something to be proud of. Because the more you fail, the more you learn and the more unstoppable you become. Every morning, remind yourself, I don't fail, I grow. Say it until it becomes second nature. Because when you truly believe this, nothing will scare you anymore. You'll stop hesitating. You'll stop procrastinating. You'll stop waiting for the perfect moment that doesn't exist. You'll take action because you'll know that no matter what happens, you win, either through success or through growth. Failure is not the opposite of success. Failure is the path to success. It is the bridge you must cross, the fire you must walk through, the storm you must endure. And when you come out of it, you will be stronger, wiser, more resilient, and more unstoppable than ever before. So don't fear failure. Fear regret. Fear the life you look back on and realize you never really lived because you were too afraid to try. Fear staying the same. Fear wasting your potential. Fear settling for less than what you're capable of. Because that, not failure, is the real tragedy. Every single day, tell yourself this. I am not afraid to fail. I am not afraid to fall. Because I know that every time I do, I rise higher. I grow stronger. I get closer to who I'm meant to be. Failure is not my enemy. It is my teacher. And as long as I keep moving, I can never truly lose. You're unstoppable. I need you to let those words sink into your soul. Because for too long, you've been convincing yourself otherwise. You've been playing small, doubting your power, waiting for the right time, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to tell you that you can do it. But the truth is, you don't need permission. You don't need the right time. You don't need anyone's validation. You are already unstoppable. The only thing holding you back is the story you keep repeating to yourself. The story that you're not ready, not worthy, not capable. That story is a lie. And it ends today. Being unstoppable doesn't mean you will never face obstacles. It doesn't mean the road will be smooth or that people will line up to support you. In fact, The opposite is true. The more powerful you become, the more resistance you will face. People will doubt you, criticize you, and sometimes even try to tear you down. Life will test you, throw storms in your path, push you to your limits. But unstoppable means that no matter what comes, you keep moving. You bend, but you don't break. You stumble, but you rise again. You adapt, you learn, and you keep going. Too many people quit before they even begin. They let fear stop them. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. But let me tell you this, fear is an illusion. It only has power if you feed it. Fear is a cage and you've been holding the key all along. The moment you decide that nothing will stop you, fear loses its grip. You begin to move differently, to speak differently, to carry yourself with an energy that cannot be ignored. That's what unstoppable feels like. You have to understand, nobody becomes unstoppable overnight. It is built day by day, decision by decision. Every time you choose discipline over excuses, you become stronger. Every time you choose growth over comfort, you become wiser. Every time you silence the voice of doubt and take action anyway, you become unstoppable. It is not about never feeling fear. It is about refusing to let fear decide your future. The world is full of people who settled, people who gave up when it got hard, who stopped dreaming because someone told them their dream was unrealistic. Do not let that be you, because you are not ordinary. You are not here to live an average life. You are here to rise, to lead, to shine in a way that inspires others to do the same. And to do that, you must become unstoppable. Stop waiting for confidence before you take action. Confidence doesn't come first. Action does. You build confidence by proving to yourself that you are capable. You build it every time you take a step, every time you push past resistance, every time you show yourself that you can. Confidence is not given, it's earned. And once you realize this, you'll stop holding back and start moving forward.
The truth is, people are watching you. Some are waiting for you to fail. Others are waiting for you to inspire them. And the only difference between the two is your decision to keep going. When you refuse to quit, when you rise after every setback, when you hold your head high, no matter how heavy the weight feels, you send a powerful message: I cannot be stopped. That message is not just for the world, it is for you. You remind yourself that you are built for this, that you are stronger than anything life throws your way.
Think about this. Every person who changed the world, every leader, every visionary, every pioneer, they were unstoppable. Not because they had everything figured out, but because they refused to quit. They were superhuman. They simply believed in their mission so deeply that no rejection, no obstacle, no failure could make them stop. That's the mindset you need. Stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what if I never stop trying? Because if you never stop, you will eventually win. Being unstoppable means you your worth. You don't chase people. You don't beg for validation. You don't shrink yourself to make others comfortable. You walk in your power, and if people cannot handle that, they were never meant to be in your circle. Being unstoppable means protecting your energy, setting boundaries, and refusing to let anyone distract you from your purpose. When you wake up every morning, remind yourself, nothing can stand in my way. Not fear, not doubt, not rejection, not failure. I will adjust. I will adapt. I will keep moving because I am unstoppable. Do you understand how powerful that is? Once you adopt that mindset, nothing external has power over you anymore. Not the opinions of others, not temporary setbacks, not the chaos of life. You rise above it all because you know who you are and where you're going. You are unstoppable because you refuse to quit. You are unstoppable because you refuse to settle. You are unstoppable because you know your value and you refuse to compromise it. Stop underestimating yourself. Stop acting like you are powerless. Stop living like you are ordinary. You are extraordinary. And once you truly embrace that, the world will have no choice but to see it too. You may not control everything, but you control your mindset. And your mindset is everything. Train your mind to focus on solutions, not problems. Train your mind to see possibilities, not limitations. Train your mind to believe in your strength, even when you feel weak. Because when your mind is unstoppable, nothing in the world can break you. Every single day, tell yourself, I am unstoppable. Say it until it becomes your truth. Say it until it becomes the energy you carry, the way you walk, the way you breathe. Because once you believe it, you will live it. And once you live it, the world will have no choice but to move out of your way.